Hello Muslims, dare to answer my questions? You don't believe Muhammad Prophet, his Quran and biography, but your entire compliance is upon fabricated teachings of imam and preachers who presented you their self-invented, self-devised, and self-embellished Islam to serve their motives for name, fame, money and governance in guise of Islam, which was never presented by your Prophet nor by Allah or his Quran. If I am wrong, dare to answer my questions with proof. Muslims believe that the Quran revealed to Prophet Muhammad has reached us. They think that Prophet Muhammad's life and teachings have completely reached us, and no change, however minor, is possible in Islam. But this is false, and there is no truth in it. The Quran was revealed over 23 years, and many companions memorized and wrote it down. They kept personal copies of the Quran and recorded Prophet Muhammad's sayings. These are valid questions, and the answers will be clear by the end of this video. Stay with me and keep watching to understand the current state of affairs and its outcome. If we examine the Bible, especially the New Testament, and try to scrutinize it, questions like where Jesus died, how many disciples he had, and their names arise. Let's explore and try to find answers to these questions. I create many videos on the critical analysis of the Bible and frequently discuss them. You can ask me questions, or drop your answers in comments, or by email shown in description of video. I will gladly respond. These are issues concerning the Bible. But Islam's claims about Prophet Muhammad are stronger. It is said that among those disciples who knew Jesus, only 2 truly did. The others didn't know him. And among the writers, only 2 were close to him. Whether they wrote the texts or not is another matter entirely. The biography and the questions surrounding it are important to address. Do Muslims have any books that narrate as the Bible does for Jesus? There are claims about certain books, but whether they are old or later compositions is another discussion. That is, 218 years after Prophet Muhammad's death, the biography was compiled. More than 2 centuries later. Imagine someone today writing a biography of Aristotle or King Justinian, etc. It is not then a joke, as biography can only correctly written from a writer who is living in same era of the personality he is writing about. It is a difficult task. No matter how confident someone is, they wouldn't be able to write it accurately. The information available would not be first-hand, but third-hand, fourth-hand, or even further hands of few centuries, generations, and those storytellers are biased or not. No one knows. In 200 years, the transmission would easily have gone through 5 to 6 stages. Even a scholar's career typically spans no more than 30 years. Scholars usually begin at around 30 years of age, and their careers may last another 30 to 40 years. When they pass away, their knowledge is further removed. These issues were present during Prophet Muhammad's time and with first writers like Ibn Ishaq and Ibn Sa'd as well, who are alleged to be first writers of Muhammad's biography. Muslims claim that Ibn Sa'd compiled his biography directly, but this is not the case. There is evidence to suggest that the material was edited later. Muslims place little value on the biography. If we talk to anyone, they will agree that the biography is unreliable. Muslims believe that Sahih Bukhari is the most authentic source about Prophet Muhammad. Sahih Bukhari was compiled 256 years later. I am not trying to build the case for relying on the biography. It is said to contain information about Prophet Muhammad, but there are issues with it. This is a major problem in Islam, since Muslims rely on Hadith books. Here their building of Islam demolished, as those Hadith were 99% believed to be fake or unwritable from their own Hadith compilers or writers. I tell you evidence from their own books below. And if such a massive fabrication is any Hadith, then how come Islam, building on hearsay of Hadith, can sustain? See how I said this? Detailed breakdown of major Hadith collections. This summary provides details on how many Hadith each compiler evaluated, how many were accepted, The percentage of hadith accepted. The methodology used. And how far they were from Mecca. 1. Muwatta of Imam Malik. Time written. Approximately 100 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Medina. Saudi Arabia. Hadith presented. 10,000. Hadith accepted. 1,720. Acceptance percentage. 17.2%. Methodology. Focused on hadith in line with the practice of the people of Medina. Distance to Mecca. 450 kilometers. Approximately 280 miles. 2. Sahih al-Bukhari. Time written. Approximately 200 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Bukhara. Uzbekistan. Hadith presented. 600,000. Hadith accepted. 7,275. Including repetitions. 2,600 unique. Acceptance percentage. 1.2%. 0.43% for unique hadith. Methodology. Only included hadith with a continuous chain of reliable narrators and authentic content. Distance to Mecca. 4,300 kilometers. Approximately 2,670 miles. 3. Sahih Muslim. Time written. Approximately 220 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Nishapur. Iran. Hadith presented. 300,000. Hadith accepted. 12,000. 4,000 unique. Acceptance percentage. 4%. 1.3% for unique hadith. Methodology. Focused on Sahih hadith. Emphasizing consistency and reliability. Distance to Mecca. 3,900 kilometers. Approximately 2,425 miles. 4. Sunan Abi Dawud. Time written. Approximately 240 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Sijistan. Iran, Afghanistan border. Hadith presented. 500,000. Hadith accepted. 4,800. Acceptance percentage. 0.96%. Methodology. Classified hadith into Sahih. Authentic. Hasan. Good. And Daif. Weak. Distance to Mecca. 3,600 kilometers. Approximately 2,237 miles. 5. Jami at-Tirmidhi. Time written. Approximately 250 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Termid. Uzbekistan. Hadith presented. 300,000. Hadith accepted. 3,956. Acceptance percentage. 1.32%. Methodology. Included categories such as Sahih, Hasan, and Gharib. Strange. Distance to Mecca. 4,000 kilometers. Approximately 2,485 miles. 6. Sunan al-Nasa'i. Time written. Approximately 250 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Nasr. Turkmenistan. Hadith presented. Unknown. Estimated to be hundreds of thousands. Hadith accepted. 5,800. Methodology. Followed strict criteria for chain reliability and classified hadith similar to Sahih and Hasan. Distance to Mecca. 4,200 kilometers. Approximately 2,610 miles. 7. Sunan ibn Majah. Time written. Approximately 250 years after Prophet Muhammad's death. Place. Qazvin. Iran. Hadith presented. 400,000. Hadith accepted. 4,341. Acceptance percentage. 1.1%. Methodology. Included Sahih and Hasan but also mentioned weak hadith. Often noting their flaws. Distance to Mecca. 3,500 kilometers. Approximately 2,175 miles. Why so few hadith were accepted? Stringent verification. Scholars prioritized authenticity by assessing the reliability of narrators and the continuity of the chain of transmission. Isnad. Fear of fabrication. Many hadith were fabricated due to political, sectarian, or social motivations, requiring rigorous scrutiny. So how come if 99% hadith were rejected or considered untrue by their bookworters, rest 1% or below hadith in books are also true or valid? Don't you think it all chaos and a fouled fiction play? Travel and verification. Compilers of hadith were living hundreds or thousands miles away in other countries, which was called Faris or Persia Empire, and how could they verify or find eyewitnesses of 2 to 3 centuries back when those hadith narrators originated their narration, or did hadith writers verified any hadith from Muhammad Prophet itself? Answer is no. Writers would take many months to travel by camels to reach from Persian Empire to Arab cities of Mecca or Medina to verify each hadith, ensuring only the most authentic were included. And certainly they either did not bother to verify, or it was in rare cases with vague proof. The Quran does not specify many details, such as where certain events happened. It also doesn't tell us how many wives he had. Even the wives mentioned in the Quran were not the ones who supported him during the early days of Islam. These discrepancies raise questions about the credibility of the information. When the 5th verse of Surah Tawbah was revealed, its context was difficult to comprehend. It does not provide complete guidance on rewards for Muslims, or specify how they should be distributed. Even if someone reads a few verses of the Quran, they would still struggle to fully grasp the concept of Tawhid. The philosophy of many aspects is unclear. The Quran alone does not make things understandable. So, can the Islam you follow today truly be the one established by Prophet Muhammad? Even if we accept that it is, there are still many questions. I have discussed this on my channel before. Neither the Quran nor the Hadith was compiled during Prophet Muhammad's lifetime. Issues such as how to distribute war booty, how much should be given, and who should receive it, whether a horseman or a foot soldier, are addressed in the Hadith. These details are found in works by scholars like Bukhari, Tabari, and Jalal. Many such sources exist. Those whom people trust and rely upon are the ones who initially taught the religious leaders. Now, the followers are rejecting their predecessors. People are removing and discarding hadiths from Bukhari, even though Bukhari compiled them with great care. Now figures like so-called scholar like Ghamdi, Tariq Masood, Muhammad Ali Mirza, Jelmi engineer are questioning them. They discuss whether slavery is permissible in Islam. The Quran never explicitly condemns slavery, nor does it state that slave owners will be punished or sent to hell. Islam never formally abolished slavery. However, Engineer Mirza and other scholars like Tariq Masood and Tariq Jamil insist that slavery was an outdated concept. Sycophant fake scholars like Taqi Usmani don't issue fatwa against sued or markup or killings of innocent Muslims, but they do flatter their rulers like gangsters Tisuri, who is governor of Sindh, and compare them with caliphs of Muhammad Prophet. Such jokers scholars declare mother milk as haram if sold to feed other babies, but these spoon and goon scholars declare that if some other baby drink milk of any other woman, those babies will become real brothers of all generations produced from those moms, and so no one can marry each other. How sad and damn act. Yet, they know internally that there is no solid evidence in the Quran to reject slavery or the concept of concubinage. Umar II Caliph could never override Allah's commands or his messenger's instructions, even if it's claimed that Umar abolished slavery. What does that mean? Would that make Bukhari Muslim or Ibn Hisham inferior to today's scholars? Interestingly, some even elevate themselves above Prophet Muhammad, as if they are the ones defining Islam for everyone. There's no way to verify whether these narrations are true or fabricated. My dear Muslim brothers and sisters, You have no way to judge their authenticity. Remember, neither the Quran nor any scholar can clearly define who Allah's true messenger is. The Quran cannot explicitly tell you that either. It was written for those who already knew about Islam and understood its teachings beforehand. The real issue is that over centuries, the transmission of knowledge has not been consistent. The first generation may have known the facts, but by the third generation, much was lost. Many copies of the Quran were destroyed and burnt. Uthman III Caliph ordered their burning, and similar actions were taken later by others. There are numerous stories about these events. We'll discuss them in more detail in coming many videos. Keep in touch with our channel. The point is, much of what people believe in Islam is not directly from the Quran. The Quran does not even provide detailed instructions on how to pray. Who taught us that? It's not the Quran but other sources. Details about Prophet Muhammad's life, his wives, and children come from human written books, not divine texts. Your faith in these depends on whether you trust scholars like Bukhari. If Bukhari documented thousands of sayings and majority of them are unreliable, how can you trust the rest? If 99% are false, how can you guarantee the accuracy of the remaining 1%? Hopefully, you learned something from this. Wait for next many videos discussing variations, contradictions and exaggerations in Islam and other religions. Take care of yourself. Subscribe channel if we attract you. Thanks.